Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mystery and Mirth.
I'm Callie.
And I'm Zoe.
And today we got a few creepy encounter Reddit stories for you. Zoe picked these out. I actually don't know, but there are 4 of them today. 4! Number 1.
Number uno.
Creepy old man.
Oh.
There's this guy who I think lives in my neighborhood, although I've never actually seen him around during the day. Lately, whenever me and my friends are out late anywhere from 1 to 3 a.m., we keep seeing him driving around in a minivan with his hazard lights on. Okay, that's actually
weird.
That's spooky. The first time I saw him was a few weeks ago. I was dropping my friend off who lives nearby, and when I turned the corner, I saw this guy in his van parked on my side of the road in front of a random house facing me. As soon as he saw my headlights.
Bless me.
You're blessed.
Thank you.
As soon as he saw my headlights, he quickly drove off. We tried to follow him, but lost him pretty fast. Then tonight, we saw him again while hanging out at a park just outside the neighborhood. Same van, same flashing hazards. This time, we decided to follow him from a distance. At first, it didn't seem like he noticed us. He turned a corner and stopped in front of another house. We parked on the wrong side of the street again. As soon as we came around to the bend, he pulled off immediately. We kept following, trying not to make it obvious. At one point, it looked like he was trying to do a U-turn. So we drove ahead, pulled into a side road, turned off the lights, and waited for him to pass. He never did. We went back the way we came, and he suddenly sped past us going in the opposite direction. After that, we couldn't find him again. We've now seen him a few times, always with the hazard lights on, always late at night, and always acting weird whenever someone sees him. No idea what he's doing. Anyone have any ideas? Is this some weird habit or something sketchy?
I don't know. I feel like it's like something. Oh, hi, Rooster.
Hi, puppy.
Hi. Oh, please don't knock that over, Rooster. Anyways, hi.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Anyway, I think it's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, if that happened to me, I would freak out.
Freak. Sorry. That was just... Okay. We're going to read through the comments. Used to see vans like that in the early mornings run by route managers delivering newspapers for newspaper delivery. They would drop off at the individual neighbors where the newspaper delivery people would roll, bag, and toss the first thing in the a.m. Maybe he's scared of you guys will steal a delivery drop-off.
Wait, but, that doesn't make any sense. Who gets newspapers?
Actually, I never see newspapers on my front concrete anymore.
Yeah, I've never...
My front concrete, my driveway, I never see them ananymore.
Yeah, they're never there.
I remember seeing them, all the time in the plastic bags, and I just never see them.
Yeah.
Number two.
Date
with a psychopath.
Oh.
So when I was around 20, female, I was newly single and...
Wait, she wasn't female before?
So when I was around 20, this is a female speaking, I was newly single and exploring the apps. I matched with this guy named Alex, and he wasn't my usual type, but his profile seemed cool. Showed he was in my school, had a car and a job, plus friends, so he didn't seem weird to me at all. We got to talking, and he seemed pretty into me, so we set up a date. A date. He came to pick me up for a driving date, so basically sitting in his car for hours driving around. Yes, I don't know why I did this, but I blame it on being young and dumb. So when he started driving, he drove about 40 minutes all the way to downtown. Mind you, during these 40 minutes, he was blasting music at full volume with the windows down. Everyone on the sidewalk staring at us while he screamed the lyrics out the window. When I brought that up, I thought it was a little too loud, and he said, "Nah, everyone loves it." They in fact did not love it, I can assure you. Anyways, when we get to the heart of downtown, he parks outside a very famous and prominent tower in the city and gets down on the ground and just stares at it. No warning, no nothing.
Ew.
This is where I started to think he was a little strange. He then hopped up and said, "Let's go get some food now." It was very strange. So now we begin driving to get food, and he drives to 2 cities outside the one we're in. Essentially, we've been driving for now hours. While we're on this drive, he starts spewing racist bull, and then abruptly tells me that he is a very depressed and troubled person, and he asks me if I've ever done any slicey-dicey to my wrists.
Slicey-dicey?
That's what it says in the thing.
Why does he say slicey-dicey?
With this, I was very taken aback, and I didn't really know what to say. I mean, I've known this man for a few hours, and at this point, didn't think conversation would get this deep. He confided in me and told me that he'd been hospitalized for self-harm. At this point, the vibe was going off. Was giving off scary and started to feel what the. At this point, the vibe he was giving off was scary, and I started to feel in danger. But I was even more scared that if I offended him, something bad could happen. Let's not forget I'm in his car. He has my home address, and I'm 2 cities out of mine. So I played nice. We finally got to a food spot and ate some dinner. At least he paid, right? Anyway, now it's when it gets really creepy. We begin driving again, back to our city, but he keeps taking the long way, so our 1-hour drive turns into more a 3-hour drive. At this point, we're back in the city, but it's really late at night, around 11:30 p.m.
Wow.
This is when he goes into a dark neighborhood, and he starts driving fast around tight roads and corners. As he's doing this, I asked him to slow down because he's scaring me, and he turns to look at me with no emotion in his eyes and says, "You know, I've had some really hard days in my life." And I said, "I know, you told me. I'm so sorry." Then he said, "I used to hurt so bad that I would come drive my car just like this and kill squirrels so something else could hurt as much as I did."
What?
I was in shock. I was honestly very terrified with what he said and did not mention his strangeness from the start. All I could do was ask if he still did it, and he said, "No, not anymore." I knew that wasn't true, but I thought if I offended him, he can easily overpower me, so play it nice again. At this point, we were very close to my home, about 10 minutes. Then abruptly he asked if I've been to this park that's coming up. This park is at the bottom of a cliff, and it's in the middle of the night. I've been to this park, but even if I hadn't, I would have said yes because there's no way I wanted that man to drive me down there. He said, "Oh, perfect. I haven't. You can show me around," and took a right and drove down the very dark road to the bottom of the park, where the parking lot was completely empty with about 6 streetlights total. Needless to say, I thought I would be victim number 1 since I'm here, obviously. Since I'm here, I obviously wasn't. Since I'm here, I obviously wasn't, but his tone and his mannerisms were so strange while we were there. He then basically forced me to kiss him pretty intimately and got handsy while I kept pushing him off. It didn't escalate past that. He then drove me home. I blocked his number and all his socials after that, but I often wonder if I really did go on a date with a psychopath.
Girl. What the freak?
That's spooky.
No, because, what?
I'll tell you, some girls are probably into that.
Some girls?
Yeah.
No way. Who's into that? You?
What? No!
You're the one who mentioned it.
Freaks. I know, I just thought about that. I was like, I feel like somebody would be into that somewhere in this world.
The guys are into that.
The guys. Okay, we'll read some comment. First comment. Jesus, this lunatic spent some. What the? Jesus, this lunatic.
Callie.
This lunatic spent pretty much the entire date terrifying you in various ways, which either he has special needs or this was all this is all deliberate.
I don't think it was special needs.
No. Then talked about harming squirrels, and you actually wonder if this date was with a psychopath? Girl, you know the answer to that one. He may or may not be an actual psychopath, but it doesn't matter because he's at least scary and potentially dangerous. Thank goodness you were safe because that could have suddenly gone to a potentially deadly at many times.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Good rules of thumb for young ladies using online dating apps. Never allow the date to drive you. If it turns out to be a nut job, the last place you want to be is alone with a car with them. Always agree to meet somewhere very public in your own vehicles. That way you can judge them in safe, neutral setting. If you eventually get to know each other better, then you can consider being in a car together. The same goes for home. Never let them know where you live until after you know them better and feel safer. Everybody take that advice for future reference.
I also want to mention, if I were in this situation, I like to think that I would, like, while we were in the restaurant, that I would, like, stay in there and then maybe call one of my friends and, well, I would definitely call one of my friends and be like, hey, well, this is going on. Like,
I'd be like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom.
If he kills me, you know who did it.
If
I die, you know who did it.
If I die, you know who did it.
And, then I'd be like, and then, like, I'd try to, like, get a lady in the restroom to, like, take me home. Like, sneak me out and take me home.
Yeah. Well, you don't know if she's a psychopath, but if she's a psychopath.
She's not gonna hurt me, though. Would I rather be in a car with this random-ass lady or this guy who just told me about how he's gonna kill squirrels, and how he killed squirrels, and stood at the bottom of a building and stared at it?
Story number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number choice.
Oh my god. Okay.
We're really weird.
We are, but it's okay. Unknown man in a police uniform knocked on my neighbor's door. Oh, so this isn't, okay.
Okay.
I was in my backyard and heard someone pull into my neighbor's driveway. I thought it was the wife. We were supposed to go shopping.
The wife.
That's what it says.
The old ball and chain.
I don't know, that's so funny to me.
Why are you laughing so hard?
The old ball and chain.
That's what I think of when everybody says the wife.
Oh, I gotta get going. The wife's making supper.
Yeah.
The old ball and chain. Gotta get back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Anyway.
I thought it was the wife. We were supposed to go shopping, so I climbed up on my fence. Imagine that mentally. Just imagine that. So I climbed up on my fence to see where she wanted to go and realized it was a car I didn't recognize. It was an older silver car. I hopped down and was being nosy. I watched through a knot hole as the guy in the police uniform knocked on their door. I realized he had a taser in his hand, but nothing else. He looked into their front windows and then went back into his car. During this, I texted them both telling them what was going on. The husband was on his way home and stopped by my house when he got home. He had a video of the guy walking up to the door with a taser in his hand. He called the police and sheriff, who both confirmed that no one had reported going to that address. A sheriff deputy came out and looked at the video and took a statement from me. He said even if it was an officer serving papers, they would not do that to an unmarked car. And none of the local LE cars matched the description. The neighbors thought it maybe their adult son had a warrant or something. But again, LE wouldn't show up in an unmarked unmarked vehicle for that in my area. I described the guy and told him he appeared to be wearing a police uniform, not a sheriff uniform. We don't have a police station in my town. The sheriff patrols my area. We had no idea who this guy is or why he was there, but he's making all of us very uncomfortable.
Oh, that's weird.
It's gonna be some cracked out person.
No, yeah, it's gonna be like, he's like a little freak.
No, it's gonna be like he's up on that method. First comment. Don't blame one for being twitchy as people automatically assume uniforms are good guys. I remember as far back as the 80s hearing reports of nasty guys pulling or trying to pull women over in lonely places for evil deeds. When still on my very rural property after dark, I answered the door with a phone in hand ready to hit 911. I swear, if I were still there, I would focus a camera on every window and door set up to an auto cloud store in real time.
Yeah, bro.
If you don't answer the door with a gun, a can of pepper spray, hairspray, Axe body spray, get one of those football airbornes. Major audio assault up close and unexpected.
Honestly, I feel like that's a little. Everyone that comes to your door.
That's a little bit much.
That's a little much.
That's a little much.
But like,
I would understand it if it was like super late at night.
yeah, if it was like super late at night.
If it's super late at night, because you know, like the story of like the black-eyed children.
No.
You don't know that?
No.
It's a ghost story, the black-eyed children. So, oh my god, we're about to go off completely topic. But there used to be like these stories of black-eyed children. They're not real children. And like they would like knock on people's doors and then have black eyes and be like, "Can I come inside?" Like, and if you let them inside, they would just disappear.
Oh.
And then like, or like bad things would happen to you. Or like they'd be on the side of the road like hitchhiking and they had black eyes and be like, "Hey, my parents just dropped me off here. Can you take me to the nearest police station or can you take me home?" And like people would be like, "Oh yeah, get in the back." And then when they look back, kid's gone.
That's weird.
So like, it just reminds me of like black-eyed children's stories.
That's weird.
Where they go up. Or it's just like Sinners where they like go up, "Can I come in? Can I come in? Can I come in?" Dude, that guy's a vampire. Oh, my back is itchy. Sorry.
Is it the black-eyed children?
No.
Are they inside you?
Number 4. This is our last story today. Whoa.
Thirst trap.
Anyways. He got off on my floor, followed me, and then called my room. What the? Okay. This is what this happened when I was 16 during a family vacation in Turkey. We were staying at a fancy all-inclusive resort, 5 stars, big hotel complex, nice place overall. Everything was great until one evening after dinner. We were going to head out again later that night, and I realized I had left my jacket in the room. So I went back alone to grab it. I took the elevator, and right before the doors closed, a man stepped in with me. I pressed the button for the 3rd floor. He didn't press anything. When the elevator stopped, I got off, and so did he. I started walking down the long hallway toward our room. It was a big, winding hotel layout with lots of branching corridors. But as I walked, I could feel him behind me, getting closer and closer. My gut suddenly screamed, "If you don't run away now, you're gonna die." I've never felt dread like that in my life. So I sprinted the last stretch to our room, slammed the door shut, and just stood there trying to catch my breath. I was shaken, but I figured that was it. Creepy guy, overreactive imagination. Nothing actually happened, right? Wrong. I stayed in the room for a bit, trying to calm down. Then, just as I was thinking about Oh my god. I stayed in the room for a bit, trying to calm down. Then, just as I was thinking about heading out, the hotel phone rang. I picked it up. It wasn't a man, it was a man's voice. He told me I was beautiful, started asking my name. I was in shock. He started telling me about the disgusting things he wanted to do to me.
Ooh.
It was pretty vile and explicit. I hung up immediately. My heart was racing. I was crying and trembling, and the phone rang again, non-stop. That's when it hit me. He saw which room I went into. Despite me sprinting, he still managed to track exactly where I was staying, and that was all he needed to call the room. I didn't want to leave the room because I was too scared. I couldn't stop imagining him waiting outside or finding another way in. I felt completely trapped. Eventually, after I didn't show up, my parents became worried and came back to the room. My dad walked in just in time as the phone rang. This time, he picked it up. The moment my dad's voice said hello, the line went dead. The guy didn't call again. I never saw him again. The hotel was big enough that maybe he was staying in a different wing. We'll never know. My parents kind of brushed it off. They told me not to make drama, that creepy stuff happens sometimes and it's over now, so let's move on. To this day, 12 years later, dim and or quiet hotel hallways always make me feel incredibly uneasy, and I hate walking to hotel rooms on my own. Wow.
Oh.
So your parents are a little...
Yeah, for real. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
What is up with that?
What's up with that? Why are your parents like that?
Parents like that.
What? Sorry, I'm not gonna do it. Why are your parents like that? They, even if you are, like, if they're your child, let's say your child came up to you and was like, hey, this creepy guy followed me, called my hotel room, and then told me about, like, all the ways, nasty ways that he would do stuff to me. I would believe my child in a second.
Yeah, for real.
Because if that happened to my kid, oh my God. And let's not forget that this happens to boys and girls.
Yeah,
like, this happens to boys and girls. One comment says, always trust your instincts.
Yes.
You probably saved yourself from being sexually assaulted. Shame on your parents for brushing it off. What about the next girl they could have protected? Most of it's just about, like, how your parents should have protected. That's just it. That's just it. Mostly just, like,
Well,
your parents.
we've learned a lot
Microphone.
today.
Don't muffle.
We've learned a lot today, Callie.
We have learned a lot today. Maybe next episode we can talk about our experience at the McIntyre Villa.
Yes, tell us what you want to see next episode. Nobody's gonna watch this, probably, only our friends, but our friends, tell us what you want, and we're gonna make an Instagram account so you can do that.
You can do that. Since, like, Kansas is a pretty haunted place. We live, like, 50 minutes away from Atchison.
Yeah, for real.
We
The
could do-
Sally House, the
Sally
McIntyre Villa.
McIntyre Villa. There's other places in there. But eventually we will go back to the McIntyre Villa. It's pretty expensive to go first time. We might go again. We don't know. Next summer. Drop.
Next summer?
Next summer, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll see ya. We'll see
Yeah,
you guys.
just tell us what you want. Zoe will get an Instagram set up. When she does that, I'll post the video and leave it in the description. So take the description down below. Leave a like. Maybe subscribe. Oh, I just spat everywhere.
Maybe subscribe.
Maybe subscribe.
Anyway.
Bye.